Hi, this is Psychic Angel One, and welcome to the channel. Today, I wanted to speak to you about the ego and the role of the ego is changing, um, and some of the tricks that it has up its sleeves while we unpeel the onion that is us, the truth of our being. Um, we are spiritual beings embodied, and the way that the machine works, because this is a artificial intelligence, this organic, beautiful machine that we live in, it's very important that you understand that for your own happiness, that the ego is no longer really important and a player in the integration of being a human being in the 21st century. And its role right now is being reduced, and it's fighting for its life. Now, just to let you know how to recognize some of these tricks that it has up its sleeves, or as my friend said, it hacks the personality. Um, Whenever you're trying to heal and move towards more of a conscious lifestyle, right, making observations coming from an enlightened state of mind, the ego will battle that and challenge that. And it really shows its ugliness in the very typical ways of judgment, of dominating, of control, of fear, of belittling, and competition. Also, it doesn't have any interest in your healing. It doesn't have any interest in God, love, or anything to do with spiritual matters. It's not its job. So when you see people, a great example is when people are in doing funerals or memorials or weddings. Do you ever notice that that's supposed to be a very glorious time and everybody's supposed to be very excited about it? And how there's always a little section of the people that become very ugly in the process, usually. Um, there's infighting with the family members, or there's I didn't get to speak, or these kinds of things that happen. There's just something rears its ugly head, and that is the ego. That is not Uncle Fred or Auntie June. It's that monster raises its head and wants to dominate everybody. It wants control, and it feels insecure. It feels insignificant. So it really happens a lot in funerals where people fight over nothing. They just bicker over usually money or possessions that sometimes really laughable. Um, in the 21st century, the ego no longer serves the human race. Um, you will find many people who practice metaphysics, light workers, if you will. You'll find that they're more and more going to try to get you out of the state of egoic mind. Um, I'm very direct as a person, and I've seen the struggle with my clients as well as myself. One of the great things I learned about was how the ego attaches to loss. It's a very insidious process that what it does, because when you're going through loss of any kind, whether that's financial, health, whether somebody's passing away, whether you lost a pet, or a huge career, or your looks, something where it's really traumatic to you, its first job, the ego will come up and try to ego out on the thing, right? And what it does is it's very insidious, because you think, because we're so used to being aligned with that, that it's telling you the truth. What it'll do is conjure up a lot of lies and a lot of deceptions. It will trick you into thinking that you're more traumatized by something. It will use that against you, because its only value, the ego's only value, is basically it pimps you out to the world. It's your avatar. It's the driver in the seat. It has no interest in your healing, as I mentioned, or your love, or anything to do with your humanity. So what it'll do is it'll grab a hold of you and tell you certain things. So it'll get in your head and say, you'll never have this love again. You'll never be financially wealthy again. Just forget it. It just drags you down. Now, a lot of people may not understand that, because they will attribute that to negative thinking. Well, negative thinking comes from the ego. So does positive thinking. The ego takes great interest in navigation. It wants to navigate you. It wants to be your navigator, okay, your GPS. So it will tell you all kinds of things and it'll drive you to your misery because it has no interest in your happiness. It's not there for your happiness. Your ego is there for its ego. The ego is there to be the winner, the soldier, okay? It's there to compete. It's there to win at any cost, even you. The heart and the soul will never tell you, that girlfriend left me, so I'm going to kill myself. That's not something that the heart and soul, let alone God, would ever do. Let's get that squared away. The only thing that would ever tell you it's time to take a bullet to your head is the ego. We need to really understand the machine at work that lives inside of us. The time of integration when we were trying to navigate and use everything in balance, where it was like, that's over. Okay, you can do what you want. You can stay. You can say I'm full of it. That's fine with me because again, that's the ego. So whatever opinions bash against this, I know what it is. The truth is we all don't need this ego anymore. It doesn't serve us in the 21st century. It's useless. It is not the thing that will get us to the next level of evolution. If you meet or anybody who's had connections with angels, spirit beings, spirit guides, shamans, people from other cosmic planets, any of the channeling I've done, I don't feel any ego or egoic beings. There's nothing like that in the universe. They don't have that, and it's beautiful. It's a very comfortable and comforting feeling to speak to or receive information from consciousness that does not have an ego. Also animals, I just thought about that. Animal life they don't have ego. They have feelings, but they don't have an ego. So the reason why human beings are drawn to little animals and they love to care for them, they love to be around them with the unconditional love that we talk about when your pet, oh, they always love me, and there's always a sense of love and relationship, and there's no barriers, very intimate relationships with animals in the animal kingdom, no ego. Really, really think about this. The most important thing I found out was when I was grieving. My friend came to my rescue, and we had several losses, and I was stuck in a cycle of grieving that I couldn't snap out of. It was a sort of I was spinning. I think everybody who's had tragedy understands that you start spinning and you can't grab a hold of yourself and find the rational, let alone the enlightenment. Well, this person came to my rescue there and told me point blank that your ego is lying to you and it's telling you all kinds of horrendous, horrible, traumatic things that take you from your loving yourself and appreciating and loving what is, and takes you down this dark road. And it sort of shook me up, right? I said, wow, I didn't think about it that way. They said, it's lies, just lie. What's it telling you? Tell me what you're feeling. And so I explain what I'm feeling, and it's all BS. Everything you're saying is BS. So we attach ourselves to people, for instance, or animals, or things that we've lost, or our jobs and careers, and we attach ourselves to that in such a way that cripples us. That says, well, you'll never have that again. You'll never meet your soulmate. You'll never have another wonderful horse that horse has died and that's it. You'll never find that again. You'll never be a star. You'll never be gorgeous again, and just forget it. You're just an old person, and you're just useless, and you're nasty. You're gonna have to get lots of plastic surgery. Whatever your trip is, it's a liar. You need to grab a hold of it and tell it where to sit down and put some tape over its mouth, because the enemy is within. And to get to a state where you love yourself, the ego will challenge you every single time. It is not your friend. So what I say now is not integration. Kick it out. Delete it. Get rid of it. Nullify it. I have many techniques for this, but I'm in the process right now of learning this. So as I go, I will leave you with this one technique, which my friend helped me to define. The ego doesn't respond to love or healing or unconditional love. So anytime that you feel you're challenged, maybe you're having a little tiff. A lot of times we have these little tiffs, even in the spiritual community. A lot of times we'll come against maybe a yoga teacher who thinks they know it all, and then you know it all, and then you're both like trying to be nice. That's a great and fairly common thing. You have to go back to love. Every time you go back to love, the ego loses. It drops. It has no say. It backs up. So when you go into the love vibration, the frequency of that healing and love, the ego drops because it doesn't have any reference point to that. And one final thing, you want to say, well, how do I recognize when I'm an ego and when I'm in a state of consciousness? It is difficult because it's in there still. It's still working its magic, or its tragedy. One of the ways that it will do, it has access to your memory banks. This is a very, very profound truth. And if it goes and starts to retrieve bad thoughts about things, worries, anxieties, tragedies, it repeats over and over a video in your head about something that happened, something, or that hasn't happened. So it's the king of paranoia. So it grabs pictures from your mind and it goes, it's your judge and jury, right? It becomes your judge and jury. And it says, see, psychic angel, that person didn't like you at all. You were wrong. See, that's what happened when your father or mother did this. You see, you're really not liked or not appreciated in this particular way. Oh, you're very sick. You're not going to get well. So all these little things, it takes pictures. See, remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? Or this might happen, that might happen. That's the ego going to retrieve information in the data bank to prove its case. It is a bad lawyer. It is a terrible, nasty lawyer. So the way to wipe it out, X that ego out, is to say, but I love myself, but I love my family, but I love the world, but I love my pets, I love the energy of the earth, I love the God that's inside me. And it just, you'll feel it shrink away. That is my first taste of diving in and trying to wrestle this ego out of our existence. The best people around you, the people that you really feel you love and make you feel warm and make you feel really special. 99% of the time when they're in that mode, that they have quieted the ego and they're in their heart. They're working from the heart chakra. And so that's why you feel so comfortable around those people. So think about this and start to work with this, because you will find the law of attraction works very, very well without ego. You don't need the ego for that at all. In fact, the less is better. Less is way better. So just keep working on it. If you want to get a hold of me, the link will be below you how to get a hold of me. I do psychic readings. I do mediumship, past lives, Akashic records. I can do different kinds of healings. I do scanning on the body, medical intuitive work, see what's going on and how to treat it, sort of like Edgar Cayce. And thank you for watching, and share this with everybody. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.